What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Virgin Galactic, ticker is SPCE. I want to give you a good breakdown of the data points, technicals, and where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is at 0.71%. It did have a high of $5.25. So the technicals are looking very sexy. But keep in mind, I do anticipate a little bit of a pullback, largely because of stochastic being very oversold potentially. So I think right now that does need to happen before it trends up any further. Even though technically there is a lot of good justification for it to continue to trend up, especially a number of retail investors are getting in like it's hotcakes like crazy. But if it does continue to go up, it won't have the necessary support. So potentially once the buying does kind of slow down or cease, this is where you do see a little bit more of an over aggressive downtrend. So this is why I think in reality a consolidation is going to be very healthy for Virgin, as I've said in the past, and coincidentally it has actually happened. So even just as minor as this is a very perfect consolidation, and of course I think that's good. But still, generally speaking, there's a lot of good things happening to Virgin behind the scenes, and of course a lot of big money is buying it through options. And as you can see, just today alone, there's $1.24 million in call premiums versus 173,000 in puts. So a lot of people are anticipating a continuation of the rally behind the scenes for space. And I'm sure a lot of you want to know, well, hypothetically, let's say it consolidates and let's say there is still that good momentum, how high could potentially Virgin go? So when it comes down to Virgin, it is very much influenced by, for instance, the sentiment, and sentiment is extremely positive. So right now you do have the technicals kind of on a bullish aspect. You do have, obviously, like I said, positive sentiment, number of retail investors getting in, a lot of big money clearly eyeing it through an options viewpoint. So in reality, I do see, based on the fib levels, it getting around to the $6.82 range. So of course that is a pretty big substantial run from where it actually was, around the $3 range. So definitely I think that is going to be a pretty good thing. But once it does actually touch close to that, that is where most likely you are going to encounter a lack of buying, because given the nature and the environment right now, I don't see it enough justification for it to get above this 682, potentially in July when there's some pretty good catalyst for space or Virgin. But as of right now, I don't see it happening, at least in the short term. But still, from here to around the $6 range would still be very, very impressive. And if it does break and stays in the $6 range, everyone is going to be really excited and pumped up. So definitely I think a lot of big things are coming. And the weird thing is, it's been going up quite a lot, but yet not much activity for shorts. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. So short score is currently 82. So it's kind of been around that range for a while now. Utilization is at 100%. And as far as looking here, so technically 22.86% of the free float's being shorted, 52.79 million shares overall being shorted, and currently today they're returning 522.54 thousand shares. Cost to borrow is going up a little bit, but still fundamentally I don't think that's really much to talk on, the 3.49%. And just going back over here to look at this chart, I'll make this very easy for you guys to remove all the other stuff. Technically shorts have returned some shares. So as you can see, it was around 27% for the short interest. It's gone down to, like I mentioned, that 23%. So shorts have returned some. But hypothetically, it's interesting to see that it's gone on this huge run, and this is basically not necessarily because of a short squeeze. So I think big things might be coming, especially in July. But as of right now, there has been no tentative news, no SEC filings. Well, there was news on the 17th, but I've already touched on that in a previous video. But other than that, it is just following the broader market, and there is a lot of good optimism. Especially, I think a lot of people are starting to see the whole debt ceiling thing as not that big of a worry as of right now, especially from the get-go, because typically they have always increased the ceiling time and time again. So what makes this time any different? Basically nothing. So I think this is the mentality that a lot of people are starting to have right now, and a lot of these growth stocks that have just been completely slammed beyond belief, they are seen as a good value play. So especially around this time frame, I did say that because of stochastic, kind of opposite stage that we are in, but stochastic was so done right now during this stage that it was going to entice a lot of big value investors. But keep in mind, during this time frame, Orbit was kind of going through their crap as well, so that was also rolling over into Virgin. But generally speaking, the technicals look fairly good. As far as big money getting in, it's still been oddly silent. So these are all the transactions on the secondary market, last being on the 17th. So big money just has not been getting in as, like I mentioned, they once were. As far as dark pool transactions, as you can see, there has been a lot more transactions on that exchange, but typically dark pool is very much linked to shorting. So like I've already given you an update on that. But so definitely that might be a positive sign, negative sign. I'll leave it up to you guys to make the determination. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Are you a fan? Are you a buying, for instance, of Virgin at these prices, or are you waiting for a consolidation to occur? What is your take on all of this? And as well, is there any potential catalyst that maybe I haven't mentioned in previous videos, or at least in this video as well, that you feel is very relevant? So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts on all of this in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, don't forget to take advantage of free promos, and that is with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comment. Sign up for a free account, you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Virgin Galactic.